Okay, it's 100 days of Keto Chow. Today is day number 18. I just looked at that. Why did I have to look at it again? Got a bunch of stuff going on today. Most notably, we've got our monthly Salt Lake, Utah, and Davis County meetup that we're doing. The theme is soup, and I'm going to make some of the prototype creamy tomato basil soup and the prototype spicy taco soup to bring. So that'll be interesting. But this morning, while I'm talking about what's going on, I have cheese on the counter. Anyway, I need to make up some keto chows for me because I've got one in the fridge for breakfast and then I've got nothing for the rest of the day. So I'm going to mix up 12. There's some hiding behind these. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I always start off with heavy cream. In this case, I'm doing 100 milliliters of heavy cream. When I first started my 100-day challenge, I was doing 4 ounces, which is about 118. This is getting me, with the MCT oil, I'm hitting right about 1,960 calories a day, depending on the flavor of keto chow I'm using. So, hold on, let me add these. Yeah, that's all right. And I'm using, so at our local Costco, we have this heavy cream made by Dairy Gold. Most heavy cream is 38% fat. This stuff is 40% fat. That extra 2%, it just means you get more fat and calories per whatever, in this case milliliter, and fewer carbohydrates. It's not much of a change in the amount of carbohydrates. Typical, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the most normal 38% fat heavy cream has 0.41 grams of carbohydrates, primarily lactose, per tablespoon or 15 milliliters. And on the side, it says, on this particular one, it says less than 1 gram. A lot of packages of heavy cream, or heavy whipping cream, will say 0 grams of carbohydrates. And that's because legally, if there are fewer than 1 gram of total carbohydrates, you can put 0. You can round down. I think that's disingenuous, but whatever. So you have to go to the USDA website in order to get information. Well, oddly enough, that one, I didn't have to use my second one. Anyway, so yeah, there are carbohydrates in heavy cream. And the nutrition calculator, so if you go on this website and you use the calorie calculator, it'll tell you how many grams of carbs will actually be in there if you use heavy cream. In addition to heavy cream, I'm also doing MCT oil. This stuff happens to be by Piping Rock. About, it was seriously like a year and a half ago. They had a special that you could buy these basically for half off. And I think I bought like 60 of them.
What did you buy for half off?
The MCT oil?
Oh yeah.
We have a box of them in the basement.
Awesome.
The kids know where they are.
Start doing that, huh?
Yeah. Well, so MCT oil just gives you higher ketones. It doesn't make you lose weight faster, but it does give you higher ketones. And if you're eating fat and you want higher ketones, you can replace some of the fat that you're eating with MCT oil. But if you're adding MCT oil on top of what you're eating, you're not going to lose weight any faster. It'll be counterproductive. In this case, I'm replacing some of the fat that I was doing with heavy cream with MCT oil. Because, so it's fat from outside, it's replacing the fat in the heavy cream with this. And it's cool. The big issue with MCT oil is you use too much of it and you will have what we technically call disaster
What you technically call disaster.
Everybody calls it disaster pants. That is the term, the accepted term in the community. So, and I have done an experiment once where the first couple days, 90% of my calories were coming from MCT oil. And then I switched that over to 50% of my calories because that was too much. That was awful. We were over at some friends' houses and I just wanted to go and cry in the bathroom. It was pretty bad. Let's see. Also of note, on the preparation instructions page where you got that calculator, it also tells you to, if you're having any digestive issues, to go get a probiotic. I cannot emphasize that enough. I finally took my own advice and things have been a lot nicer. I mean, it wasn't bad, but yeah, I was spending too much time in the bathroom and now I'm just fine. My stomach doesn't gurgle anymore either. Anyway, so let's see, yesterday, what did we do yesterday? We were supposed to get the fasting drops in. And the place that's doing the packaging of that for us, apparently nobody showed up for their shift.
What?
Yeah, that's what Bob told me. He said, yeah, nobody showed up, so we're not going to have those until Monday. I was like, that sucks. So, and they had the big bottles of fasting drops and electrolyte drops done. What they didn't have was the empty pocket flasks. And without the empty pocket flasks, we're pretty much dead in the water because the big bottle comes with an empty little bottle. So we're like, well, I guess we're waiting until Monday. Is it still working, Haley? It's got the red dot?
Yep.
Okay, cool. It'd be really sad for me to be doing this and...
You like how I took a video in my pocket?
What's that?
How I took a video in my pocket.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, Haley was filming something and forgot to turn it off.
So it just
was like
had
45 minutes of pocket. Which reminds me, we need to change your phone to use the SD card for photo and video storage. Anyway. I'm just making up a whole bunch. In this case, I'm making root beer because I love root beer. I spent a couple of years living in South America where they hate root beer. They think it tastes like medicine. Apparently it's the same way in, most of the world outside of the United States. So I really like root beer. It's got a place in my heart. Tap, tap, tap so I don't get stuff stuck in the top. Tap, tap, tappy. Then you shake like a madman. It's very important that as soon as you add the powder, you're adding the water and then shaking immediately, or else you will tend to get clumps. And the eggnog, in particular, is very susceptible to that. You don't want clumps. You want it to be nice and smooth and delightful. So as long as you mix it up right, you'll nail it. And I like having water pitchers nearby. I've noticed that if I try to fill it up using the sink, the faucet, tap, 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 tap. Whoa! Got that on film. Make sure they are closed all the way.
That was a neat trick.
I know, right? Let me watch this up.
Here's a real life example, guys.
Here we have what not to do. Where's that paper towel? That was fantastic. So one of my daughters, this last week, took in her backpack to school a hydro flask full of Keto Chow for her lunch. And it wasn't closed all the way. And so, fortunately it wasn't her full backpack. She was going on like a field trip. That one might be clumpy because it took me so long to get it cleaned up. I mean, to get going. I need to wipe up the floor really quick. Anyway, it spilled all over the place, ruined a bunch of her homework. I don't know if she told her teacher, my lunch ate my homework. But So our nice daughter Haley was kind enough to get lunch for her sister and give it to her.
Because she had a field trip to high school, and I was at the high school, so I
Yeah.
spent half my lunch tracking her down.
But you did it! Thank you!
Of course, the other half was spent trying to find my lunch, because it was in the seminary building.
Oh man. Anyhow, so yeah, make sure the lids are on right. Also make sure the tops are closed. These ones I closed all of them before I started mixing. But that one apparently I cross-threaded. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I think I'm gonna do 3 of each of these 4 flavors. Sometimes people ask us, how do you get a variety of different stuff? Do you just buy a bunch of different samples? Well, my preferred way is to use the less expensive per meal big bags. Just have a couple of them open at a time. It's a higher initial capital outlay, but it's a lot cheaper. Wait, I just made 4. Looks like I'm only making 2 of the eggnog. Apparently I really like Luther Float. Okay. I can't do math. Yeah, I got stuff all over the place here. Let's see, what else did we do yesterday? I submitted the Keto Chow logo to Amazon merchandise, by the way, Marion.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So right now there's only 1 design for shirts. I'm gonna get it on a couple other, like sweatshirts and stuff like that.
Ooh.
But yeah, anyway, you can go on, rather than having the shirts printed and sitting in our warehouse, and we make like $2 on each one, or in some cases we make -$ on them. We're gonna just be using Amazon merchandise, or Amazon merch, where you upload a design and Amazon will print it when somebody orders. You can select up to 5 different colors of shirt, and in the end, the shirts are actually going to be cheaper than the ones that we were selling on our site. And we actually make like 75 cents on each one instead of negative. I tried to price them as low as I could, and I think it was 16 or 16.99 was like just about the least amount you could make without having them cost negative for the premium t-shirt. Okay. Hopefully those won't be funky at all. Alright. Let's see, what else? What else did we have going on yesterday? I don't remember. I had so much stuff going on yesterday. We're getting a little bit closer to having the new shopping cart ready to go. The biggest problem we've been having is getting accurate shipping quotes. And the company that's working on that has been working on that since September. But we're getting a lot closer. The big breakthrough was we're going to be using volume for the calculation of the shipping, which involved getting a really big water pitcher and submerging different packages of Keto Chow in the water, filling it up to 5 liters, or 5,000 milliliters, and then taking the package out and seeing what level it went down to. It's simple Archimedes displacement. It's a really easy way to calculate volume. And so I know exactly how many milliliters each different flavor of Keto Chow takes up. And then I know exactly how many milliliters each box can hold. And so it's a simple method of you add up all the stuff that somebody wants to order, and you put it in a box that holds that many milliliters. Should be pretty simple. The one issue is the guy who was doing the development, I think he forgot to name the boxes, because every single box is coming through as the same box. I think on the back end they're all different, but on the admin interface they're different. Anyway, nobody cares, but I do.
I care.
Yeah, Miriam cares. For the meetup tonight, we got a bunch of real salt.
Ooh, yes, real salt.
They offered to give us a bunch of stuff to give away during the meetup. So we got little real salt shakers for everybody who's coming. At least maybe for everybody who's coming. We'll see. We might have a whole bunch of people show up, and it'll just be the first like 15 or 20 that come. We'll see.
I'm not sure if there's 20 out here.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. But chocolate mint is delicious.
I think raspberry cheesecake's pretty close to that too.
You like raspberry cheesecake too? I thought you liked. I always tell people you like chocolate mint the most.
I like raspberry cheesecake not as much as chocolate mint, but
Still a lot.
Yeah.
I like raspberry cheesecake a lot too. It really hits the cheesecakey flavor for me. It's got a nice color to it.
I like root beer.
Ruth likes root beer? Oh yeah? Flavor's a bit stronger with avocado oil. And I could have been using avocado oil instead of heavy cream. And at a later stage, that's what I'm going to be doing. But right now, I'm just doing heavy cream. And in the old days, I used to mix up a whole bunch at a time using a pitcher and an immersion blender. But anymore, I'm just mixing them up individually in blender bottles and calling it good. But they all have a little piece of tape on there that says Dad, right?
So unless there's an emergency where we don't have lunch and need to leave, we're not going to take Dad's.
Yeah. I'm happy to help you make some, but I might run out of water. Oh, I have just enough. Yes.
Yay!
Apparently 2 gallons of water is enough to make 12 things of keto chow. Okay. There's my breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the next 4 days. Cool beans. All right, so I'll see you guys tomorrow for a very, very, very short update. Usually it'll just be me saying hi. And I usually won't do a blog post either, because it's Sunday. And
Sundays.
I don't want to work on Sunday. You don't want to work on Sunday. Let's just not work on Sunday. Anyway, see you later.